Hey guys, how you doing? So, bit of a different one this one. So, I'm at my accommodation up in Queensland at the moment. So, yeah, so as I sort of said in the last video, I'm here in Queensland at the moment because I'm hoping to get a new pump tomorrow, which is going to be exciting. Well, I'm not hoping, I should be getting a new pump tomorrow. Um, as you know, as many of you would know, follow through some of the previous videos, it's been a nightmare process to try and get that new pump because um, the Australian healthcare system seems to be taking a terrifying twist and turn towards heading down a very American path, where only the wealthy are going to be able to afford healthcare, which is very concerning. Um, and so going through, especially when my fund and my policy covered me for my pump last time, and then suddenly when I needed a replacement, it was like, yeah, no, we're not going to cover it anymore. And I'm like, that's not cool. Um, and in the end, it was just one of those things where if you pursue something long enough, and I guess it's a case of um, when you do things for the right reasons. So, you got to put, when you maybe not. I don't want to say that you got right on your side, but when you follow something through and you actually sort of pick out the details, and you can really go through and get all this common sense eventually. Like for example, the wording of my policy was basically that they would cover me for a replacement pump, provided I was admitted to hospital, um, which would not only incur the cost of the pump, but also then incur the cost of the hospital admission and all the fees and charges that go with that. They would have covered me in that instance, but if I took the new pump as an outpatient, then they weren't going to cover it. And so I sort of raised the highlight of that, going, that doesn't make sense. Like, it's literally costing them more than double if they admit me to the hospital. I'm like, if you want me to get admitted to the hospital to get a new pump, I will find a way to do that. But or you could make it cheaper and easier for everybody if you don't. Yes, it took a few things and going through and reminding them of some legal obligations and a few other things as well before we finally got it sorted. But yeah, it was just a challenging, tough journey. So, but it's been, but at least hopefully the end is in sight with tomorrow. Um, mind you, it's kind of funny actually. And I felt kind of bad about this. So I had a rep from Medtronic, the company that makes new pump, call me up yesterday, Friday. I think it was Friday. They called me, and I was like, yeah, hey. And they were like, oh yeah, Mr. We want to talk to you about, making sure that you get the most out of your pump, and we give you all the knowledge that you need to make the pump work. And I'm like, back in my mind's thinking, does it not come with an instruction manual? Like, that was the first thing. And anyway, I'm like, okay, well, it's a bit of a promo thing, whatever, and you tips and tricks. Okay, fine, whatever. And then we got into the conversation a bit further. And then it was like, and this, okay, now Medtronic is a company I've been dealing with for a long time, right? As diabetic. So I've got my current pump, had that for 5.5 years. Pushing 6 years. Pushing 6 years I've had this pump. And prior to that, I've had other Medtronic devices like um, blood glucose monitors and various other things over the years. So I've been around the traps for quite a while. And I've worked with team members from Medtronic before, and they're all great people. Sometimes some corporate decisions are questionable, but good people. I know they got to follow me. Anyway, so this guy calls up out of the blue, and he's like, "Okay, so is this your?" And he goes to me, "Is this your first pump?" And I'm like, "Okay, did you read any of my file? Do you not look at any of the file that I have with you guys?" "Oh, I don't have access to that." I said, "But I'm getting a new pump." He's like, "Yes, yeah, I do. Give me 670." I'm like, "Okay, so then in that paperwork, you would see the fact that this is not a new pump for me. This is a replacement pump. It's an upgrade of a pump because that is on the paperwork the Medtronic received." Silence. And I'm like, okay, look, dude, like, you're getting off to the wrong foot with me here because you kind of expect you to know what you're talking about, particularly if you're supposed to be teaching me how to use it. So yeah, you probably might want to get off to a better start. But anyway, I felt kind of bad for sort of just slamming one on him. But I was like, at least throw me a bone here. Like, diabetes is expensive enough as it is, and to basically get told to suck eggs by the manufacturer. Um, with stuff that looks like it should have been in a manual. Yeah, that's not cool. So anyway, um, otherwise, what else have I been up to? So yeah, so I got up here. It's been good actually being up here because there's one thing I like about when I come up to Queensland is I get to a chance to actually sort of spend some time with my trifamily, which is kind of cool. So I went to the endurance swim squad with the club yesterday. So yesterday being Saturday. Um, which is kind of a bit weird and kind of it's kind of a bit weird actually because it was like nobody there because the Sunshine Coast 70.3 is on this weekend. And it's a big one for my tri club because it's the local half Ironman. So a lot of people up there doing it. So there's very few people actually at the swim squad. I still caught up with a couple of people and that was great and did my run. That was good. Anyway, so I ended up, and my coach had actually put on there a long run for me to do today on Sunday. And he said, do it up at Bar so I can go up support. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. So I did. So I went up this morning. I missed the swim side because the swim side was at 6 a.m. I thought it was a 7 a.m. swim side. No, it wasn't. It was 6. So I missed the swim start, but I got up there and I got to see a lot of my tri club, but also a lot of my other extended tri family. And it's one of the things I love about triathlon is the sense of family that you get. So I got to catch up with triathletes that I've met at various other events like around the country and around the world, and see them out on course today, which was really, really kind of cool. I sort of ran, and just random strangers as well, and just that was really cool. So I went out for my run. So I got there sort of when people were sort of starting to come in off the bike. So people were starting to head out on the run. And sort of, supported a few people on the bike and then started out because I said I had my long run, so I had 20 Ks to do. So I went out on the run, went out on my run, and ended up so I sort of ended up following part of the run course, but then, they'd sort of turn back, for to the end of their lap. But I just kept going. So just kept running. I was sitting out and back, so 10 Ks out, 10 Ks back. But for a few, 5 Ks, I was running in and out of actual races and competitors, which ended up being a couple of interesting things happen. It was funny actually, I was sort of just running along my path and I took a turn and I had an official come running saying, you can't stop, you got to come back this way, you can't go this way, the competitors all go this way. And I sort of turned to him and said, not racing, no chip, no bib, no race. And he's like, oh. I said, look, I'm just out for a run. I said, I'm sorry, but yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, all right. And he's toddled off back to his post on the course. But it was really interesting. As I said, I was running beside a couple of people. There was one guy that I remember. There's one girl that I saw. So she was in. Actually, I saw her a bit later on. So there was this one guy that I saw, and he was struggling. I was sort of like, okay. And so I paced him for. I know you're not supposed to pace people, but I ran sort of beside him for a while. Just as kept be there, a bit of moral support and whatever. Anyway, so he sort of. Hit the end of the loop, so he had to sort of start turn to do the lap, and I just kept running. Anyway, so I'm on my way run back. I actually see him on the run course, as he's on his final stretch, and he's like, "Hey, I survived!" And I'm like, "You go, dude! That's awesome!" Gave him a hug, and he kept going to go on and finish. Because when I'd seen him last, he was really struggling, so it was really great to see. And there was also a moment when I was, because as many of you know, so I'm on Team Handsome. And one of the things that, so Handsome is the male brand of SOAS Racing, which is the female specific brand. Now, SOAS kit is, really nice and it's a lot more popular. Very few people know about Handsome, but a lot of people know about SOAS. So it's always great to see, but it's always nice to see the SOAS and the Handsome kit out in the wild. I'm never seen Handsome kit outside of North America. I've never seen Handsome kit outside of North America. I see SOAS kit all the time. It was really nice to see SOAS kit. So there's a few people racing today, and a few girls racing in SOAS kit. And there was one girl, she was struggling a bit, and I sort of just ran again. I ran beside her. I said, "Hey, love the kit, love the SOAS kit out in the wild." And she was like, oh, how's your race going? I said, I'm not racing. I'm just here for support. And she's like, you're nuts. And I said, no, it's all right. And I said, look, I saw you in the size kit, because, and because I actually, funny enough, had my handsome shorts on. Um, so I was like, yeah, look, I'm part of T Hansen, so it was really great to see the size kit in there. She's like, oh, cool. We got talking, and anyway, she was on her first lap. And I sort of, just pulled over and watching a few other people that I know racing, talk to them, whatever. Anyway, I saw her again a little bit later on as she was coming down the hill to on her final lap, just heading towards before she did the finisher chute. And I was like, go, Sarah. She's like, woo! It was so cool. And this is the thing, is that I love the fact that complete strangers can like chat and support each other and be there to support each other. And that was such a cool experience to have today. And I'm really glad that I went up to do my long run up there. And I got to see everybody up there and got to see a lot of the people that I've got to know through my journey, and see their journey grow as well. One of the girls from my tri club did her first 70.3 today, and I'm really, really proud of her for this. Like, she did a phenomenal time. She did 5 hours 10. Like, it was nuts how awesome her time was. And she ended up getting a spot to the World Championship in Taupo next year. So I'm like, yay, go Michelle, that was awesome. So it was really awesome. I was so proud of her. Like, this is her first 70.3. She's done plenty of ollies. But this was her first 70.3, and she was just absolutely amazing. So that was awesome. So yeah, it was just a great experience to be out there, looking all, seeing everybody, seeing the environment. Triathlon just has such a vibe to it, and it's such an awesome feeling. So yeah, that was cool. Anyway, otherwise my run was pretty good, so that's good. Anyway, so I've got a big day tomorrow. I'm still sort of going through this stuff I've got to sort out from when I was hit by that car. We've got a few things we've got to try and sort out with the lawyers and the court about that, and then getting my new pump in the afternoon and flying back to Newcastle after that. So yeah, anyway, so just sort of checking with you guys, see how you're doing. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I think that's it for now. I'm going to try and get a swim in the morning too, if I can. If I can drag my sorry ass out of bed in time, that's a good thing. Anyway, alright guys, catch you later. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!